If you woke up between 2 and 4 in the morning this week and could not get back to sleep, there is a good chance your body was trying to tell you something about a deficiency most men over 50 have never had properly addressed. You might have muscle cramps after you work out, your jaw might be tight when you wake up, you might feel anxious without being able to explain why. And if you have tried magnesium before and it did not work, watch the next few minutes before you write it off. Because the problem almost certainly was not your magnesium, it was the number on the bottle. Here is what magnesium deficiency actually looks like in a man over 50. It looks like waking up at 3 in the morning with your mind already running. It looks like calves that cramp on a night run. It looks like jaw tension so consistent you stop noticing it. It looks like a low-grade anxiety that has no obvious source. It looks like being exhausted at 9 in the evening, and then lying in bed completely unable to shut your brain off. I had most of these. I assumed it was stress. I assumed it was age. It was not. Here is what this video covers. First, the number on your magnesium bottle and what it was actually designed for. Second, 2 completely different magnesium problems that produce almost identical symptoms. Third, the form of magnesium most men are taking and why it has a 4% absorption rate. And fourth, what carnivore and keto specifically do to your magnesium levels. The number on your magnesium bottle, 350 to 420 milligrams, was not designed to optimize your brain, your sleep, or your nervous system. That number was calculated to prevent serious deficiency diseases, seizures, the bare minimum to keep you out of a hospital. Here is the definition of the RDA directly from federal health guidelines. The RDA is the average daily level of intake sufficient to meet the nutrient requirements of healthy individuals. Healthy individuals. It was never designed for a man over 50 who is waking up at 3 in the morning and has muscle cramps and chronic low-grade inflammation. The RDA for magnesium was set in 1997 based on body weight data from men who averaged 166 pounds. If you weigh more than that, which most men over 50 do, your actual requirement is higher than what the label recommends. The label is not lying to you, it is just not designed for you. There are 2 completely different underlying problems that produce almost identical magnesium deficiency symptoms. Problem 1 is a cortisol problem. Problem 2 is a brain excitation problem. Which one you have determines how quickly you respond to supplementation. The cortisol-driven problem looks like this. You carry weight around your midsection. Your blood pressure runs higher than it should. Your fasting glucose has been creeping up. Your energy crashes in the afternoon. You feel the effects of stress more than you think you should. The brain excitation problem looks like this. You are exhausted but cannot sleep through the night. You wake between 2 and 4 with a running mind. You have muscle twitches in your eye or your calf. You grind your teeth or wake with jaw tension. You have restless legs. You respond to small stressors with a disproportionate reaction. Here is the important difference. If you have the brain excitation problem and you take the right form of magnesium at the right dose, you will feel the difference within hours, not days, hours. If you have the cortisol problem, it takes longer, typically several days before you feel a meaningful shift. But both problems have the same root cause. Both are driven by magnesium deficiency. You are not choosing between 2 different supplements. You are choosing the right form and the right dose of the same mineral. I want to be completely straight with you about something. I had the brain excitation problem for years. I thought it was cortisol. I tried adaptogens, I tried ashwagandha. Some of it helped at the margins. What actually changed things was understanding that the raw material my nervous system needed to turn off the accelerator was magnesium. Not 400 milligrams once a day from the cheapest bottle at the pharmacy, the right form, distributed through the day for long enough to actually fill the tank. The form of magnesium in the majority of bottles sold in pharmacies and grocery stores is called magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide has a 4% absorption rate. That means if you are taking a 400 milligram magnesium oxide tablet, which is what most bottles contain, your body is absorbing approximately 16 milligrams, not 400, 16. If you try to compensate by taking more magnesium oxide, you will get diarrhea before you get results, because all of that unabsorbed magnesium pulls water into your intestines. Low absorption rate, and you cannot safely take more of it. That is the double problem with magnesium oxide. Most of the research showing that magnesium does not significantly improve sleep or anxiety was conducted using magnesium oxide, which means it was delivering approximately 16 milligrams of actual magnesium per 400 milligram dose. The research is not conclusive because it used the wrong form. The form that actually works is magnesium glycinate, 80% absorption rate, no GI distress at therapeutic doses. And the glycinate component independently supports GABA production. the calming neurotransmitter that addresses the brain excitation problem directly. On dosage, this is where most men get it wrong even with the right form. For men who are significantly deficient, a therapeutic correction dose is typically between 600 and 1200 milligrams per day. Spread across 2 or 3 smaller doses, not taken all at once, spread through the day. If you are eating carnivore or keto, and most people watching this channel are, there is something specific happening to your magnesium levels that general magnesium content never addresses. When you reduce carbohydrates significantly, insulin drops. When insulin drops, your kidneys excrete more sodium, and when your kidneys excrete sodium, magnesium follows. The low-carb transition actively depletes your magnesium stores faster than a standard Western diet would. This is one of the reasons the keto flu feels the way it does. Fatigue, muscle cramps, headaches, difficulty sleeping. These are not purely carbohydrate withdrawal symptoms. They are partly magnesium depletion symptoms. They respond very well to magnesium glycinate in the transition period. Once you are past the transition and your body has adapted to fat burning, a carnivore diet provides meaningful dietary magnesium through red meat. But during adaptation, and during any period of higher stress or intense training, your requirement goes up significantly. Here is what I want you to take from this video. If you have been taking magnesium and it has not worked, check the form first. If it says magnesium oxide, that is your answer. Switch to magnesium glycinate and give it 30 days at a correction dose of at least 600 milligrams per day, split across 2 or 3 doses. If you have the brain excitation problem, the 3 a.m. waking, the muscle twitches, the jaw tension, you may feel a difference within the first day or 2. If you have the cortisol-driven problem, give it a full week before you assess. Drop in the comments which symptom list matched you most closely, the cortisol list or the brain excitation list. Tell me what form of magnesium you have been taking. I read every comment and I will tell you what I think based on what you share. My next video is about organ meat, specifically liver. The food the carnivore community calls the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, that most men over 50 have been told to avoid for decades because of cholesterol concerns the research does not actually support. I will show you what your blood work looks like after 30 days of adding it once a week. Subscribe so you do not miss it. I am Josh, this is Created Carnivore. Real food does not have an ingredient list.